Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the Watchers Report. As always, it's a pleasure to be allowed into your world, that I may partake of my creative ability and spit another piece for you. Today's piece is called A Precipice. For those of you who don't know what a precipice is, it's a cliff, a very, very high cliff, where people tend to jump off. Okay? All right, so here we go. As I stand on the edge of this pristine precipice, surrounded by endless conflict and drama-filled nonsense, I wonder why of yet it is that I haven't jumped. Now, obviously of it all have I had enough. So many self-serving agendas, holy pretenders, that it's gotten to the point where I don't know who to trust. Full of hypocritical religions where instead of preaching the true word of God, they rather wish you luck. Which means that the average man seeking to become a holy preacher, a holy teacher, is really only a con man out to make a buck. I've heard so many hard luck stories that the next one that comes, I can honestly say I don't give up. I've heard one where his kid was hit by a bus. He then came back and told us another one where his mother was run over by a truck. With so many people out here playing games, it's hard to maintain a true sense of reality. Only worried about gaining a continuous salary. Yet when the cash flow does grow, they still don't pay the bills. But all day long, you can hear them brag about having so many skills. Street cred, street kills. But at the end of that very same day, when no one is around and the door's closed, all we really find is just another weak addict sadly addicted to popping and snorting pills. Now let's keep it real. Let me saturate your mind scientifically while mathematically we continue to build, observing the battlefield high from the top of a divinely chosen hill, causing time to stand still as we wondrously watch the drastic descent of another holy human angel who became entangled. So due to pride, he also fell. Now see, he once was this young man who said rather than pay child support, he'd much rather go to jail. Not only was he raped in his cell, but this dumbass brother also ended up doing more than 10 years. On the day of his release, you can loudly hear him scream how the system was so grossly unfair, forgetting the fact that for more than 13 years for his own seed in any way was he ever there. I call this self-suicide where due to pride a man decides to give himself the electric chair. How could anyone expect of him to care for another human life when it's obvious of his own life he doesn't care? Now once was this beautiful white dove who thought she had fallen in love, so she allowed her body to excavate. It began to escalate because the feeling was great. You see, every time they made love, he would make her body shake like an earthquake. Now was this a bad choice, just one of those life lessons, another crazy scenario of fate? I mean, she gave up the sex on the first date. But too late did she recognize that this was her greatest mistake. You see, once she had given up the prize, brought into all the lies because of stars in her eyes, she failed to realize that once again had Eve succumbed to the passion of the snake. Where once was a loving human and giving angel, now walks a woman whose heart is filled with hate. Now wait. For heaven's sake, why do so many people seek to take the devil's bait? Even though we've seen the end result a billion times, still people stand in line fighting to live a life that's fake. But remember, such heartbreak is hard to anticipate. Why you must always seek to contemplate, never forgetting to cross all your T's and dot all your I's. Otherwise, don't be surprised when comes a demon in disguise selling you dreams and promising you diamonds falling from the skies. This is when you find that they try to hold you back twice as hard when out of that crab basket you try to climb, infecting your state of mind, like pressing the button fast forward while at the very same time holding down the button rewind. Like taking you to a dark cave void of light and telling you how bright in this place the sun is going to shine, even though you're absolutely blind. Now by self-design, a victim of a self-accepted crime. Now see me, Through it all, I remain one of a kind. My mind has been primed to see through all the BS. So shame the devil and confess. So many claim to talk a good game, come in his name seeking fortune and fame, but yet when the spotlight hits them, they all succumb to the stress. Why? Off of this precipice, I haven't jumped yet. I was built for the conflict. It's written in my contract. Though the conflict is constant, I constantly stay laughing at the nonsense. Not being of this world, everything they try to do, every move they make against me is harmless. Though you see me as a physical being, actually what you perceive is timeless and formless. I'm even older than the sun of the morning. Before the universe was born, I was already waking up, stretching and yawning. And this was just another watcher's bombing. What? Don't you hear the sirens coming? Yeah, the watcher. Thank you. Peace.